social media influencers are very big. Everybody knows social media
Wait, real
influencer.
quick. Who's your favorite? Well, what social media influencer do you like?
I don't know. I'm not easily influenced. I don't have one.
Girl, who's that lady who be baking
Oh,
stuff?
but she not selling me nothing. She just teaches me how to cook. Her
Okay, but
name
you're
is Acre
influenced.
Homestead. No, which oh, I guess, but I haven't bought anything. But her name is Acre Homestead. Hey, girl, she lives, I think, in like Portland, Oregon, and she just has a garden and she cooks everything from scratch, and I love that for her. So
Mine,
yes,
real quick, mine is Kayla Nicole. Hey, sis.
hey, girl, period. So yeah, we all know a social media influencer, and that's cute. That's dandy. TikTok now has become like real life. Is it HQC? What's that thing where they just sell stuff all the time on
TikTok
TV?
shop.
No. But there was like a TV channel where
Oh, QBC or something like that. QVC. Yeah.
yes. So it feels like TikTok is becoming a QVC channel because every other scroll is someone trying to sell you something. And so we get it. That's the social media influencers job. So this week, you can throw up the photo.
Got you. So these are the influencers.
Yes. So the girl to the left, Sydney, she's a 24-year-old social media influencer, and she's suing the girl to the right, Shale alyssasheil. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. So Sydney is suing Alyssa because she is claiming, you can remove that. She's claiming that Alyssa is copying her and her vibe. Yes, her vibe. So she is saying that because one time they like had hung out, we'll come back to this photo in a sense. So backstory, right? The girl that is suing Sydney, I'm so bad with names. I gotta pull it up in my. I literally has to be in my face because I will forget.
Alyssa and Sydney.
Okay, so Sydney had reached out to Alyssa like, "Oh, hey, girl, like we
I'm
should
gonna put
hang
the
out one
pictures up real
time."
quick so they can see who you talking about real quick.
Yeah. So Sydney, the girl to the left, was like, "Oh, hey, girl, we should hang out sometime." So they went, they hung out. Everything was great and dandy, and they hung out another time, but this time they did like a little photo shoot session with each other. And so Sydney said that she felt like she was doing aesthetic espionage. Okay. And Alyssa was like, "Oh, I had to block her after that interaction because I thought it was kind of giving weird, right?" So fast forward, they're no longer talking. And so Sydney is scrolling through her social media and she's like, "Oh, people are screenshotting their For You pages and they're saying that that other girl's posts look just like mine, to the point that they were like, 'Oh my god, girl, is this you?'
Hmm.
Because their aesthetics were so the same." Quote unquote. So in this lawsuit, she's claiming copyright infringement because the Sydney girl copyrighted her posts, which I didn't even know were a thing. And she's claiming that, like, oh, because Alyssa was copying her style, she was making less money because now when she posted these sweaters on her Amazon storefront, people weren't buying as much from her anymore. They were buying from the other girl. So my question to you is, you can show the photos, show the one with the sweater, right? So this is Alyssa would post the one to the right, and that's Sydney to the left. So it's not exactly the same, but they're selling the same sweater. And show, do you have the other one? And then here's this a place where like they're both selling the same desk, but they're, judging it up in different ways.
But honestly, to this photo, real quick before we get into everything, the one that's to the right shows more of the desk than the one that's to the left.
Well,
Like Alyssa looked like she actually put in the effort into show the product, but that's just me. So what was your question?
so my question is, do you think that this is a valid lawsuit as a social media influencer suing another social media influencer for quote unquote stealing her vibe and her aesthetic?
My whole thing is like, we call influencers because you influence. So it's like, let's say if she was influenced by you and the aesthetics are matching and things like that, That's what social media is for. Well, not for, but like that's what the influencer platform is. Like you're supposed to influence. And if you're mad that Alyssa is the one that is getting sued,
Right.
right? So if you're so mad that Alyssa is following your everything and like she's making more commission, maybe you need to figure a way out, to step your Duffy up. Like, do something to diversify yourself, or clearly like it's not working for you. Like something is not working. And it's like honestly, people's like taste change. Like I may like one influencer right now, but next year I'm gonna find someone who could do something similar to her, but I like their vibe better. So it's like I feel like the lawsuit honestly is going to, if you were worried about Alyssa taking your people away, you doing this lawsuit is going to push people away even more, because like now it's like, if let's say I like the girl Sydney and I liked your
Mhm.
content and I start posting like that, or I just so happen to, I didn't even see a post that you did, and it just so happens to be similar. The fact that like you might, oh my God, this is like influencer espionage. She's trying to steal from me. It's like now you're deterring me because now you're gonna sit there and try to sue me too.
Yeah, I think the whole issue is, I get it, this is your livelihood, but I think it's actually ridiculous and insane because a lot of people do a lot of the same things. I'm sorry, like Rebecca said, you influenced me on this sweater. Well, I dressed up the sweater differently and I also like it, so I want to share it with my people. I'm like, you
It's
know what I'm
like,
saying? Like, I think it's weird. And I think in the era of social media, it's a very like, it's a dangerous world out there, right? Everyone has a podcast. Here we are with our too much podcast. But it's like, that's like Angel Reese suing us because she's like, oh, well, I started a podcast before you guys started your podcast. So you know what I'm saying? Like everybody, even in our podcast, we're talking about Luigi. How many other podcasts aren't talking about Luigi? We all have different like thoughts and takes about it. And that's just what makes you different. Yes, I understand that it's your job and your livelihood, but as Rebecca says, if your sales are going down, then maybe you need to figure something else. Like figure out a way to your Amazon storefront, instead of selling a sweater, now try to add in, you know,
a pair of boots,
dishwasher.
some socks,
Yes, exactly. Boots.
toothbrush, toothpaste, something. Like I feel like also this is why they say, especially when it comes to like I guess people who have like one source of income, they always say like try to find multiple streams of income or like
Mhm.
diversify. So like if your only stream of income is this and you're seeing a decrease, instead of figuring out a way that you can find a new income to make up for the income that you're losing, you're doing a lawsuit where you're wasting your money. It's like
And I hope that she reached out because it's like, all I get it. It is kind of like weird if like I'm hanging out with Rebecca and I wear one little bow, and then every move I make, I see that the next day she also doing the same thing. I'm not like, okay, I get it. But it's like, talk to her. Like I'll be like, oh hey Rebecca, I see that every time I put on a new bow, you're also buying the bow the next day. Like, but then again, like you an influencer. So it's like,
But it's like if
that's your
Shayla had a
job.
skincare routine that I loved, and I'm like, oh my God, like your is always so good. Like, what's your routine? And you tell me your routine, and I go and get it. And then people ask, what's my skin routine? And I show them too. How you going to get mad? But I honestly give credit where credit is due. I would be like, oh, my friend Shayla put me onto her skincare routine, and
Mhm.
this is like this. But like, let's say even if I did that and you get mad at me, like, why are you sharing my skin routine? People ask me what my skin routine is. You influence me, and now I'm just spreading the word.
Yeah, I just think that, like, realistically speaking, I don't think that this battle is going to go so far, especially because, like I mentioned, all social media influencers, they really do all the same thing. And the ones that I pick or choose to stick with is mainly because of their personality. Because how many videos on YouTube there are of like, this is how you make an omelet? There's thousands of them. But guess what? I probably go to that one video, or the reason why I go to Acres Homestead to how that teaches me how to make my bagel is because I like the way she talks. So it's just like be for real, Sydney. I good best of luck
Yeah.
with that lawsuit, but I just think there's not a valid whatever you think there is.